The sun dips low, paints the sky in gold. The week's worn stories quietly unfold. Each moment lingers like a whispered tune. The twilight hums beneath the rising moon. The coffee cups, the fleeting chimes of days, the hurried footsteps, life's bustling ballet. But here I sit as the daylight wanes, tracing my thoughts through its tender stains. Oh, the week goes by like a fleeting breeze. Time's gentle touch puts my mind at ease. The sunset glows, a moment to keep reflecting softly as the world falls asleep. The laughter echoes, the sighs that stayed, the love that bloomed, the debts I've paid. The rhythm of life, so sweet and so slow. The sunset reminds there's still room to grow. So let the colors blend, the day and night. A canvas of peace, bathed in fading light. The week's a melody, tender and
Hey everyone. I see that there may possibly be 4 people here. This is an impromptu live. Welcome to Journey Mirror. If you are not new here, my name is Tia or Blue. Um, I would ask people to put something in the chat so that I know you guys hear me. But because of the kind of live this is, I'm quite sure there won't be much talking in the chat. And a lot of my people that might watch are not going to have any clue what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to get right into why I have come on here at almost 4 o'clock in the morning, which I don't think I've ever gone live at 4 o'clock in the morning. But I was not going to lay down without bringing some clarification to an issue where my name has been brought up um, in a not so true fashion. So, again, welcome to Journey Mirror, where my channel is indeed inspirational, um, or at least that's the intention. So, yesterday we did Friday Journeyers Pick. And after the live was ended, we went back live for almost 6 hours. During that almost 6 hours, Tina Mofo Show was on the panel. Von's Reality was on the panel. Halfway through, Jasmine's Way was on the panel. After that very, very amazing live that is still positively being commented on and talked about, the live was shared. I did not reach out to anyone to ask for it to be shared. Other content creators shared the live. Later, in fact, maybe a couple hours ago, I went into that person's live. I was probably one of the first 3 or 4 in the live. I typed in the chat, thank you for sharing the live. My name had already been mentioned before I even began typing in that individual's live. I'm typing in the live saying thank you for sharing. That individual said that the live did something for her. I replied to her that I'm glad it did something for her. The individual said something about being sad. I said to her, and this is all can be proven when the replay is watched. The individual said something about being sad. I replied to the individual, hi, Shelly Shell. I replied to the individual that it wasn't intended to make anyone sad. Someone else said to me in the comment section of the live that it was what the person needed. And I said back to that person, oh, really? Well, we never know what a person needs. As the content creator is going on her live, she made a statement that said individual relationship with God is individual. And I agreed with her by saying, speak it. And then as the live continued, I began to speak to other people. They were saying hello to me. I was saying hello to them. At some point, off of the app, privately, which is how it should have stayed, I was addressed. And since the person has already done a live mentioning me, I will say, Vaughn addressed me privately in a text because something she saw made her feel like I did not support her. I am here to say on my own panel with my own voice, I watch several people that I have liked for almost the 2 years I have been on this platform. I don't watch people once they've done something to me, I don't watch. Everybody doesn't do that, but that's just me. I went into UP's live to say thank you for the share. And since she began to speak about how she felt personally about some of the things that she was hearing in the live, I stayed. And I'm glad I stayed because she asked some questions. And I was there to answer some of her questions. Again, this can all be verified by watching the replay and looking at the comment section of her live. In the middle of that, I go to Vaughn, who is live. I rewind to the beginning, okay? I'm listening to UP close to around the part where she said, what was the question you asked? I told her what the question was that I asked regarding my live last night. And I'm multitasking, like I'm looking at the chat, but then I'm not in here because I'm doing other things in my apartment. As I come back, I see some other people saying things to me about me, speaking to me, so on and so forth. Again, this can all be verified if the live is watched and the chat is looked at. So I see that Vaughn is live. Again, she did text me her how she felt, but I didn't know she was going live. That was not in the text that she was going live. So I go to her live and I rewind it and I hear her crying because she's upset with me. I believe what I was getting was she was upset that I told the other content creator to speak it. So I'm in her live, I'm in Von's live from the beginning. So I'm not like she's on panel with people and I'm not like caught up, right? Because I'm watching from the beginning, but the comments, are still rolling. And whatever she is saying has the entire chat of 50 plus people. Somebody was like, I don't like blue. Okay, God bless you. Um, and other people, see, this is what I was saying. When you have um channels, you share supporters, right? So let me give you a gist of this situation. Von's Reality has some of the same supporters, subscribers, um, as Blues Plate and Journey Mirror. So instead of having a one on one conversation, it has now become open to YouTube. This has happened with Von and I before many of you were there for it. So, yes, she texted me. I replied. I'm either blocked or they just didn't get read before I quick hit the live and Blue this and Blue did that and Blue did this and Blue did that and Blue did this. With multiple people in the chat that also subscribe to Blue. That's something for me to cry about. But again, we've been here before. So I have said several times this year when things are happening in the moment, I choose to deal with them in the moment instead of pace the floor for the rest of the weekend trying to figure out what, when, where, how something happened. So I'm going to repeat what I said in the chat on Von's Realities Live because I'm not sure if she saw, I probably would have to go back and watch it more because I think the last thing I said was, okay, you're getting off or something. I don't know, you're getting off your live. So I want to repeat what happened in my words on my own panel, on my own channel. Last night's live was shared. That person went live. I was one of the first few in there. She had already mentioned my name while I am typing. Thank you for sharing the live. There was a little bit more conversation about how she felt about the live. Things like it made her sad, and me saying that wasn't the intention, and someone else in the chat saying she needed it blue. And I'm like, oh, she did. Okay, we never know. That was about the gist of the very beginning of that person's life. But because she had already mentioned the live, I continued to listen because I wanted to see if she was going to say more of what she got out of it. One content creator having a problem with another content creator, whether I like the both of them or not, I'm going to listen to what I want to listen to, just like other content creators. I was listening to this person today, tonight, this morning, to see what else she might say about the live. Not about the people on the live, but about the live. What she got out of it, what it did for her since she had said it made her sad. She later went on to explain that it wasn't sad, like sad about something, but it was sad. She was sad about something else. I'm not quite sure exactly where the sadness part was, but anyway. So and again, she said something about relationship with God is individual. And in all caps, I said, speak it. And according to the beginning of Von's life, that's where things went wrong. Because at the time of where she was listening to the person, and at the time where I was listening to the person, didn't even have to be the same time. Unless she absolutely logged on to the live at the same time I logged on, and we're both at the same spots, when my comment pops up, could be to different parts. It doesn't necessarily mean it's to the part that she was hearing on her device at the time she was hearing it. Several times in Von's live tonight, I kept texting the same thing. Why, Blue? Because I really want to get my point across. One, because if I'm openly being misconstrued, I want to be able to deal with it. Okay? That's me for me. That's a lot of people, right? Secondly, because we share people and the idea that others are having now based on what? Based on what you've said about me, that's something I could cry about. And people like, I don't like her, but I've done nothing to them. And if I have, I didn't know about it. Just because a person is listening to another person does not mean they agree with everything that person says. People listen to me on Blues Plate. People listen to me on Journey Mirror. They may not agree with everything I say. There is not one time, if you go back and listen to this other person's live, there is not one time that I typed anything in the chat about Von's reality. I don't give a flying fig Newton that this content creator is in the middle of issues with this content creator. Because if I cared that much, then I wouldn't have had a panel in the first place with Von as the main purpose of the freaking panel. I do not have control over another content creator's perspective of another individual, whether it was on my panel or not. Funny thing is that the other day I was listening to Von's reality, and two people on her panel brought up my name, and Von and I discussed it already because I expressed to her how it kind of bothered me. And she explained to me, she hadn't thought about that in the moment it was happening, because I said to her, these people are bringing up my name about some stuff that has nothing to do with anything current. And then another person said something. And then Von went back down memory lane about a live she popped off on me. But the people in her chat were like being mean. And she didn't want that to be happening because she didn't think I had deserved it that way at that moment. She didn't think I had deserved it. So she privated her chat. So she's saying all this, right? And I was like, oh, I hate that that happened. I hate that they brought my name up. And when I got a chance to talk with Von, I had that discussion with her. It wasn't that she agreed with what they were saying. It was her panel. They said it. And maybe she did agree because they were saying, Blue and this other person, and that's how it happened. And maybe she agreed with it. I don't know. But we discussed it. Where did we discuss it? Off of YouTube. So I am flabbergasted that there was a live done on me. First of all, I'm sad that Von was crying. And I feel like what she felt one person was doing coincided with what I wasn't doing, and it made the situation worse. Von, as you said, at some point at the beginning of your life, all that we've been through, all that we've been through, I don't understand why what another content creator's perspective was has to do with me. I believe I heard you say the words, I allowed someone to weaponize my life. People in your comment section were agreeing with you. Other people that have disdain for me, right? You and I had a I apologize reconnecting moment. Some of those other people that had nasty things to say about me a year ago, that hasn't happened and probably never will. But they also, I saw someone say, oh, well, so and so is using Blue. All of this because someone shared my live from last night. I said thank you. They said something about the live. I said, oh, that's not the intention. Further in the live, they said something else. I said something else, but never made a comment about Von's reality. Never made a comment about Von's reality. That person may still be live, but I never made a comment about Von's reality. The only names I mentioned from that panel was Tina, because she was saying something about the conversation that Tina was having, and she didn't get her name right. And I typed in her chat what the person's name was. There's proof of that if you go back and read it. She asked, Tia Blue asked Von a question. I told her what the question was. So that was the most I said about Von's reality. She said, Blue asked Von a question. Let me see if it's in the chat. Now I'm hearing this from a distance because I'm not at my phone. I get back to my phone. I type in the chat. I asked her to reflect on something not based on YouTube. You'll see that if you watch the replay as well. I don't understand why this could just have been, I'm going to text her, but then I'm going to call her because we've been through so much. Or I'm going to read her text that she responded to me before I go live and pop off for my subscribers, which are also some of hers. Before I put Blue's name out here in a negative way because of our connection, reconnection. I don't know why that didn't happen. I don't know why put me on a cross because of somebody else's idea of my life. There are people all over this app that have ideas of my life. Half of them I don't hear. But the narrative that I'm in agreement with someone because I'm there in the first place, or because I said speak it to something that wasn't the same thing that you heard. And I believe I heard at the beginning of your live on, you said, um, how could a person that has my number or that has a certain kind of channel, how could they do that? What exactly? What did I do? And I did see in the chat, Blue, can you get on the link, please? But I was still listening to the beginning of the live. I was still hearing the tears in your voice. I was still, you know, replying to the beginning of the live. By the time I fast forwarded, you were on panel by yourself. Another content creator had just got done encouraging you. Um, Again, you can see the comments even though you're watching from the beginning. Um, and then I laughed because I saw someone say, let them handle it privately after it's already been a video made. Alive, live and in action with 50 something people, maybe a good five of them or four of them, people that also watch all three of my channels. This is the same thing that happened last year. And then the things that you think of me, just because somebody else said, nobody is using anybody, nobody's using me. Nobody's working any spells or magic on me. Nobody's, you know what I'm saying? If the person shared it with the wrong intent, that has nothing to do with me. If the person disagrees with something I said, or Tina said, or Jasmine said, or Vaughn said, that has nothing to do with me. Are we not entitled to our own opinions? Are we not entitled to go where we want to go, listen to who we want to listen to, choose to agree or disagree? Or does that just stop when it comes to Journey Mirror? I've been watching some of these content creators since October 2023. And as my channel shifted, I watched less. But because I know they still watch me and support because they mention it sometimes, I also still watch them and support, not in entirety, because I'm busy doing my own 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hour lives. I can't watch anybody else's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hour lives. So I'm not watching in entirety. And it was with the weekend, I usually go into a live, I say hello, I greet a couple of people, and then I jump out. But I stayed this time because my live had already been mentioned before I even started typing. And now here we are with 7 people here. No doubt some that were in the live I just left. No doubt some of the 7 here just heard all that they just heard regarding me. Some of the comments looked like, I saw my name in the same comment that someone made about Witch. Someone I don't even know, but they obviously know of me or have watched me. I can't say exactly what the comment was. Again, I saw the comments going as I'm watching and typing. Um, and I was asked by Vaughn to hit her link. I don't see her here now for me to drop mine for her because there's no other reason for me to drop it. And the fact that no one's in the comment section talking outside of when Shelly Shell came in, um, kind of leads me to believe that maybe not actual Journey Mirror people are watching. But I said something the other day on my community wall, and I'm actually gonna read it. um, because I said it on the wall, but I've also said it like several other places since then. Um, Again, while I'm looking it up, to clarify, I did not say anything in anyone's chat against Vaughn's reality, against her as a person, against whether or not she was on my panel doing whatever it was said that she was doing. I don't give a flying fig Newton if you're on my panel and you're not talking and you're 15 different places. I don't care. People do that often, especially if they have more than one device. I've been on my panel, I'm the host, and I haven't been talking. I'll let whoever else is talking talk, and I'll be on my tablet in somebody else's chat, talking to them. I've done it several times. hey, I'm live, just came over to say hey, because they support me that way and I support them back that way. So I don't care that it was anybody's opinion that there was not a fly being killed and that somebody was, who cares? I don't care. I didn't respond to that in the chat. And anything else that was said, I didn't respond to. But that's not the narrative being put out. Um, so I said on my community wall, and I'm gonna end with this. Again, I was in Von's chat. She asked me to drop the link. By the time I got to that part, she was getting off. Um, I don't even believe she spoke back to me while I was typing. If she did, I'm at the beginning of the live and I didn't hear her. If she said anything to me at the end, I will have to go back and watch or not because, you know, so um, again, Von, you and I had an issue last year, and this year, amends was made from the both of us. That was very genuine because I'm not in a place in my life right now where I can't be genuine. There's too much going on, right? There's too much at stake. So I believe I heard you say you thought it was genuine, and that's also what you texted me. It was very genuine. And I know that it may be hard for you to believe because of the things that's going on with you right now with other people that don't seem to be genuine. Um, but again, as far as for Tia Michelle Blue Burrell, it was very genuine. There wouldn't be text messages again with each of us and in groups. I think I heard you mention someone sending you Bible verses or prayers. Yes, I wouldn't fake or not genuinely send you Bible verses and prayers. um, yeah. I mean, the 15 minutes that I heard of my character being totally destroyed. I think the reason I'm laughing now is because I've cried about this already last year, something very similar last year. Um, and I just not, I don't know, I'm just not, oh, let me say something else I did. When you said that you felt like the live was being weaponized, I don't know how I had something to do with that. I'm not quite sure how I play into someone else weaponizing or not. I don't feel like I heard anything weaponized. Maybe some stuff was said when I wasn't by the phone. I don't have in my AirPods. I don't know. I really don't care because again, that's not my opinion, right? I feel like unless you saw Blue type something specific to you, right? Um, yeah, Vine, you're right. Vine needs to da da da, right? And funny thing is, even if I felt that way, I would never type it in the chat because haven't I been super open with you, about me? So even if I did agree, why would I put it in the chat? Especially with whatever is going on. And I got to say whatever because I honestly don't have a full idea of what's going on because I haven't been paying attention to you when you're upset and I haven't been paying attention to the other person either. I stayed in the live because she had already been talking about my live. Other people in the comment section were talking about the live. They were saying good things. You'll see that as well if you watch the replay. So, I'm still trying to go back. I'm still trying to go back. Yeah, I just don't understand. I just like I literally just went in there to say thanks for the share. Reply to some stuff that was being said about the live as a whole, not about no individuals. I don't know if this community wall post is too far gone for me to be able to okay, for the first time I'm looking at my phone and I do see you, Vaughn. Now it is 4:22. I am just seeing you commented at 4:21. And so yes, I am gonna drop it. Um and now that I've replied to you openly, if you would rather now speak without it being live, I will also respect that as well. But there was no way I wasn't going to address this openly to start with, since it was already that way. So you let me know if you want to. Hi, Kaleidoscope. You let me know if you want to. It was at 4:21. It is 4:23. StreamYard is delayed. Are you still here? Hey, Echo. Vaughn, are you still here? I'm making sure I say the timestamps of when I'm seeing it. It is 4:23. You asked me to drop the link at 4:21. Are you still here? It is 4:23. It is 4:23. Again, as I said in the beginning, a lot of what I'm saying, a lot of my new subs will not understand what I'm talking about. This is not a normal live that I do. I am currently scrolling my community wall and I'm waiting for a reply from Vaughn's Reality. Uh, but yeah, this is not my normal live, you guys. And for all of you that know my channel to be inspirational, motivational, and encouraging, this is not that type of video. It's not meant to be disrespectful or argumentative, but something happened openly, and so I'm addressing it openly. Just waiting for Vaughn. Okay, I see her. Okay, I see it. 4:23. StreamYard's delay is not that long, but I'm looking at two devices. So, hey, Kaleidoscope, what's up with you? How are you? Okay, I'm gonna go guest. Oh, wait. Yeah, guest. Would y'all believe I haven't done this enough? Copy. I'm talking it out as I'm doing it because I am learning timeline is very important. Okay, copy, paste, paste. That's good. I'm glad you're good. I am pasting now into the comments and I am pushing send. Nope, send. Okay, it should be popping up. And I want to repeat, as I was watching Vaughn's live, I was at the beginning. So this is at the time when it's just her on the panel. Okay, this is at the time that it was just her on the panel. I was not there for the part where there were people. I saw people on the panel, but because I rewound, I wasn't able to hear a lot of what the other people on the panel said. So if y'all on the panel are listening, I'm not addressing things that y'all said because I didn't get that far. By the time I fast forwarded, one person was encouraging her and then the live was ending and I was still typing because I was still trying to, I even started typing in all caps because I really was trying to get the point across. So I just want to verify that. And I'm not mentioning the people in the chat that have dislike for me because I didn't until you know way. It's not that important. So I'm not mentioning you by name, but you know who you are. I've done nothing to you. You can email me and tell me if I did. And to the people that also are subscribed to Vaughn and I, if you're here, I hope that you're also listening equally to me as you were to her, because you guys are supporters of all of the things that we do. Memberships, both channels. Vaughn's got multiple channels. So if you're here listening, you're not typing in the chat as you were hers, but I hope that you're here listening. Hey, Teresa. Hey, Von. You're
Hello,
on
Blue.
mute.
Hello, Blue.
Teresa, all is well. All is well. Again, this is you guys are newer. So you're not going to get many videos like this. I had a situation just within the past hour. Um, I wasn't able to get on the link. I got to the thing too late. Von did drop the link for me. But by the time that happened, the live, I believe, was like almost over. And I was stuck at the beginning. Um, and if you guys are here now, this is the Vines reality that was on my panel last night. If you have not watched both lives last night, one started at Friday late, Friday around 9, and then there was another one late Friday, Saturday, Sunday morning. It was a beautiful panel. It was a, to me, authentic panel, genuine panel. Um, but this is the Vons that was on that, the Vons reality that was on that panel. So if you guys are not familiar with her because you're newer to the channel, you've also seen her on Rise and Shine Crew, Blue G Spicy Crew, and you've seen her wrenched up. But if you've never been to her channel or you've never heard her on my panel, this is who she is. Hello.
Hello.
Well, we both can't be quiet,
I dropped the link for you because I saw you comment in the chat and
which
you
is
were
what I just
saying,
said.
yeah, you were saying that you weren't saying speak on it when she said that I was going the route or the road that I am going down in Christianity, I'm going to drive people away.
hmm
That is what I saw
Just to
in
confirm, it wasn't speak on it. I just said speak it in all caps, just to confirm the right
yes.
wording.
Um what I saw in real time was that moment. And I did text you at first because my
Which is what I
initial,
said also. Go ahead. I'm
right.
not interrupting. I'm just making sure that we're saying the same thing because I have been live for 43 minutes and I don't know how much you've heard, but I've said both of the things that you've just said, I've said as well. So go ahead.
I saw that in real time and it affected me emotionally. I started crying and I text you. Um, I can't remember exactly what I said. If you would like to read the message out loud, you can. Um, and then I was trying to compose myself because this woman has been dragging me and my spirituality, and I have been going back and forth with her. And I've recently decided that I was not going to engage with her. I wasn't going to say anything else to her from my own spiritual beliefs. And when I saw you in the chat and she's picking your live apart and she's saying that I was somewhere else being messy and I was not. And it was like, so is Blue believing this? Does she agree that I went and got baptized as a YouTube play? Because these are the things that she has said against
Okay,
me.
but Vaughn, right now you're bringing up two things because getting
Right.
baptized for a YouTube play, when was that said? Because I didn't hear that today.
That was the very first live stream she did on me and was saying that I ran a play to weaponize God against her, and she used my baptism that I shared with you. You have, and I said this in my own live, and I'm trying not to cry because I know that I'm laughing jokey Vaughn and I do play a lot. But Blue, I've shared with you personal things in my life that I've really been through. And I feel like, as you said, as my sister in Christ and as my YouTube, acquaintance friend, that you wouldn't be in a chat where she's literally saying that I'm not being real with God.
Okay, so again, you're talking about two different things. So the live we're speaking of today is the live I'm speaking of where you felt a certain kind of way is today, correct? So
Yes.
you're talking about two different incidences from two different lives. The live you're
Okay.
speaking of today
Mhm.
was when in real time on your device from where you were listening at the time that you were listening, You heard her say something, and at that time you heard me say speak it. Okay, so let's deal with that, because I feel like that was the part that you text me about, and that was the part that you spoke of on your panel about an
Right.
hour ago. Okay, so do you understand that where you begin to watch the live and where I begin to watch the live can be different? People come into a live at a different time.
I understand that. I
Okay,
also.
so hold on, because I want to take this
Mhm.
step by step. Because again, I don't know how long you've been here, but I
Mhm.
said you hitting your panel that
Mhm.
like that fast. I don't know how long between the time you text me and the time you hit your panel. I don't know what the time limit was.
Right.
But what I'm not going to do is like how you said, we're not going back down back to last year, right? We came
Right.
too far. I heard you say
And
that on
I
your live.
I
After
I
all
said
we've been
that.
through, we're
Yeah.
not going backwards. So I want to deal with
Mhm.
one thing at a time.
Okay.
Okay. So at the time that you entered her live and she said what she said, and at the time I'm telling you about 50 times
Mhm.
that she said individual relationship.
Mhm.
And at some point when she was saying that, I said, speak it. And I'm telling you that that is what I was saying, speak it to. Why did I say
Okay.
speak it? Because I am always on my own channel talking about individual relationship. So when
Mhm.
she said it, my brain was like, you're darn right. It's about
Right.
individual relationships. So I typed speak it.
Right.
I've said that on this channel in the past 47 minutes. I said it multiple times on
Mhm.
your channel in front of you and your subscribers that are also some of my subscribers.
Mhm.
I even yelled it. They say when you type in all caps, you're yelling. I
Right.
even yelled it. So I can't make you believe. Like, I don't know if we can do like a timestamp of when she said
No, you
individual
don't. No,
relationship,
you don't
and
have to
I
do. You
type
don't.
like, because she's on
Mhm.
StreamYard, so there should definitely be some kind of timestamp to coincide
Mhm.
with my two words, speak it, and then to what
Mhm.
she said. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
Vaughn, it's really too much God-forsaken confusion.
Mhm.
This lady shared a live. It
Mhm.
shocked the HE double hockey sticks out of me that it was
Mhm.
even shared.
Right.
Okay. And her comment was, this was powerful.
Right.
I had no idea that she was listening to the live until
Right.
I got there and she said she had been there and listening to the live. I heard her say someone sent her a link while she was listening to another content creator.
Mhm.
Someone sent her the link. And so she was like, okay, let me go over here and check out Blue. Because UP has never stopped supporting my channels. She mentions them often. She mentions the food often when I'm over there
Right.
to actually be able to hear her. She's may have mentioned my channels more than I know. But
Mhm.
again, as I said at the beginning of this life, I'm not there as much as I used to be.
Right.
So um she's talking about the live. She mentioned how the live made her sad, and I said to her that wasn't the intention. I'm sorry it made you sad, or something like that. And nothing I'm
Mhm.
saying is not in writing on the replay. It's all right there.
Right.
So that's my explanation on the speak it.
Mhm.
I feel like because you are having issues with this person, I don't
Mhm.
even fully know the issues. Why? Because I
Mhm.
wasn't watching Von's reality. I heard you say today on your thing, when you were talking about UP, I wasn't there. Let me tell you something. I wasn't there.
Oh
And
no,
this is
don't
text message.
wait.
This is
No,
text message.
no, no, no. You took that wrong. I said I respect and respected the fact that you wouldn't sit in my live while I speak against her.
That is
And
exactly
I,
what you said. And let me
yes.
correct you on something. I wasn't in your live because
Mhm.
it was hurting me to see you be
Mhm.
hurt. And if you don't know that that's the truth, that
Mhm.
third person that we chat with in text
Mhm.
can back it up because it's texted to her.
Okay, so if
So
you,
that's why I
it,
wasn't there. It
I
wasn't
have a
about you talking
question.
about, it wasn't about who you were talking about.
Right. I have a question. If it hurts you to see me hurt, you didn't think it would hurt me for this other person to use your content and the fact that I was on your panel and pick it apart in a negative way and accuse me of doing things that I have not done.
Okay. So the pick it apart, I don't know what part was picked apart to accuse you of things you haven't done.
So you
Can you
didn't
tell
hear,
me what
you
part
didn't.
of my,
Mhm.
can you tell me what
Mhm.
part of my live this morning
Mhm.
did you hear her
Mhm.
use in a weaponizing way? I'm all ears.
So when you and Miss Tina and I were the only three on the panel, Miss Tina was talking. I was listening to the story. I had to go to the bathroom. I was in
The
the
part about
bathroom.
the fly.
Yes, when she said, "Yeah, you weren't killing no fly," and she said she was back and forth in John Frank's chat being messy. Vaughn wasn't listening to y'all. She was, and then people in the chat were saying that I was ignoring what y'all were saying, and I'm like, so does Blue believe this, or is she, agreeing with this? Does she think?
That part. So the channel holder said what she said about the fly and you not being there.
Mm-hmm.
You heard her say that.
Yeah.
Did you see me reply to that in the chat? Because you're
No,
watching the
but
chat. So did you see
no.
me reply to that in the chat? Did you see other people reply to that in the chat?
Honestly, Blue, all I saw was you, my friend, and my sister in Christ sitting in a chat where I'm being
Fine.
dragged and
Can
called
you
a
can
false Christian. That's all I saw.
I never heard UP say false Christian today.
She's been saying it all.
But
Okay,
we're
I'm not
talking
I'm not
about
gonna argue with
today's
you.
live, Vine. We're talking about
Blue, in
today.
today's live, she is attacking me. She is weaponizing your wonderful and beautiful and safe place against me, saying that I am playing in God's face,
So
saying that I
Vine,
am not a true believer.
so
You know
Vine.
how hurtful that is for me. And I'm not
So
yelling.
basically your
I
argument
need to
is
I need to go on mute because I'm about to cry and I'm not going to do that up here. But what I will say is,
so
Blue,
what your argument is that while you can go to different channels, you don't want me to be in different channels.
I wouldn't sit in a chat where you are being dragged. I would not sit
Vaughn,
in a
I
chat
did
where
not
someone is
sit.
calling you a fake Christian or that I'm not genuinely supporting you.
I'm
I
gonna be
wouldn't sit in
quiet
a.
because you're not trying to even hear me. You just want
No,
me
I
to
do
hear
hear
you,
you.
Vaughn.
You can go wherever you want to go. My only request is, as my friend, don't sit somewhere while they lie on me and talk bad. She's not just talking bad about me, she's talking about my spirituality.
Vaughn, the
And
lady
we've
said,
been going at it all week, Blue.
okay, and you assume that because I know the both of you, I've been watching the both of you go at it all week. You assume that because her opinion was you weren't killing a freaking fly, that I should be like, okay, let me not be here. I was in that lady's live because she was speaking about my live. I went in her live to say thank you. Before I even said thank you, she was already mentioning Blues live. I wanted to hear her feedback on the content. I didn't care what she was saying. I wasn't there to listen to her say anything about Tina, Vaughn, or Jasmine. But by what you just got done saying, I don't think that as your friend, as my friend and my sister in Christ, you should be in a live where somebody's dragging me. At the moment you text me, the most she said was you weren't gone killing a fly, you were in somebody else's chat typing. That was the most she said. At the time you text me what
She
you
also
text me.
said the road that I am taking, I'm gonna drive people away from God.
Okay.
She said a lot, and
Did
that
I did
whole
I
lot,
did I agree with her?
that entire lie, is to discredit me and my faith.
So what
And
does
you
that
are the
have to
least
do with
person.
me
It
then?
has everything to do with you because you are the least person who has supported me out in the open to even want to listen to anything that she is saying about your good content and using it to attack someone else.
So it is your opinion that if someone shares my live and they're going to speak about it, I shouldn't be there to listen to what they have to say,
Blue,
no
you
matter
can
what it is.
say, you can make it, and you can say, and people can say, I'm trying to do this and I'm trying to do that.
I don't know what people are saying. I'm talking to you and you're talking to
You're right.
me.
You're
This is
right.
not about other people. I don't care what other content creators have to say. My live was shared. I said thank you. In the process of saying thank you, the lady said, the live made me sad. And I responded to her. And in the process of that happening, something else was said. Did I hear her say, you wasn't killing no fly? You was in somebody else's chat? Sure did. What that so and my ear is tuned in to see what this content creator got out of my live and what the other people in the chat got out of my live.
And those
Somebody
same
said
people
something.
in that chat is dragging Vaughn. Blue, you don't
Okay, but
understand how
Vaughn,
that's
I am a
hurtful.
content
You don't
creator.
understand how
Listen,
that is hurtful, though. I'm no,
Vaughn,
I just want to know, do you understand how it's hurtful? Do you understand that
it is
much?
because at the beginning of the
Okay.
live, I talked about how it was hurtful that you went back down memory lane for a second and you and I had already talked about it. I do
Nobody said
understand how
anything
hurtful
on
it
my
is.
own panel when your name was brought up. They didn't say anything negative about you, and I didn't say
I understand that it
anything
wasn't
negative, and
negative.
I wouldn't
I'm
allow it
answering your
on
question.
my channel.
You
I
asked
would
me a
not allow
question.
that on
I'm
my channel.
answering you. Yes, I
And
understand how
today,
it feels.
And today, when one person said they didn't like you, I shut it down. I said, we're not here to do that. I have no ill will towards Blue. I'm not even mad. My feelings are just hurt. That's what I said. And the energy and the channel and the chat shifted. Only one person spoke something negative against you. And nobody called you a witch. They said, talk to Blue behind the scenes, but keep the evil witch blocked. Nothing negative was said about you.
Yeah, I didn't say anybody called me a witch. I said I saw my name in the same sentence as the word witch.
Okay.
Again, I don't know how long you've been in my live. I've been live 58 minutes now and 13 seconds and counting. So I did say that. I did not say someone called me a witch. I said my
Mm-hmm.
name was in the same sentence as the word witch. So I
Yeah.
want to be careful to bring clarity because you hit your live and put my name out here as doing something I
Mm-hmm.
didn't do.
I did not say you
It's
did. Wait, what is it that I said you did that you didn't do?
it's your perspective that I was helping somebody weaponize my live because I
Okay.
was in the chat listening to what they were saying about my live. Not about you, not about Tina, not about Jasmine. I was listening to what they were going to say about what they got out of my content. I was reading the comments about people saying, yeah, Tina and Blue, something, something, something. I'm looking at comments and I'm listening for what was received from
Mm-hmm.
my live. I cannot help that another person thinks that you weren't killing a freaking fly. I cannot help that another person thinks that you was in somebody else's chat that I don't even know about. I cannot help that she said that. I cannot help that she feels that. And then the part that she said about what did you say that she said something about some
The
kind of
road,
the
I
road
can't
to
I can't quote it verbatim, but she alluded to the fact that my walk with Christ, I am going to run people away and make people not believe in God. And I saw for myself, you say speak it or speak on it, and I just,
the words
it
was
was
speak
like,
it. I want to clarify
yeah,
the words was speak it.
yeah, it was like, you know what? Wow.
So because of your perspective and because of the way you saw it and because of the way you took it and because you had a question, because a few minutes ago you had a question and the question was, is Blue agreeing with her? You didn't text me and say, do you agree with her? You gave me permission to read your text, and I'm going to take your permission and read it because
Go
you
ahead.
did not say, you did not come to me with a question. You did not say, Blue, are you agreeing with her? This is what you said. I genuinely, I'm reading this because Von's reality said I could. For anybody that's watching, because there's 17 of you in here, and I probably don't know half of you. So let's make it clear that I'm reading a text with permission from the person that sent it, okay? The text reads, I genuinely thought you supported me, period. Not Blue, do you agree with what she just said? Not Blue, are you supporting her like da 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 da? I genuinely thought you supported me. I see you in this person's chat while she's weaponizing your live at 1:32 a.m. my time, which is also 1:32 a.m. UP's time. I did not hear weaponizing. Then you said, I am so glad you have shown your true colors. I was
Mm-hmm.
not in anybody's chat when I was on your panel. So at 1:32 a.m. my time, which would be an hour earlier your time, and also 1:32 the time of this person's chat because we're both in Michigan. The most I would have heard and the most you texted was not being in somebody else's chat. I replied to you, and I don't know what time I replied to you because there's no time here. I replied to you, one text, two texts immediately. Why, Blue? Why immediately reply to that after you saw it? Because I needed you to know that what you were saying to me was not true. You didn't ask me a question. Now on the panel, you had a question. Is Blue agreeing with her? But had you text me that, I would have said, nah, girl, I don't know nothing about, I'm not worried about no fly. I'm just listening to the chat because it was shared. Like I would have had the opportunity, but you just accused me in a text. You didn't ask a question. And then you popped
I
off
don't
on me
have
on a lot.
Blue. I
I
don't
don't
have
ask
any
questions.
text messages in response to my message. I do
Okay, well
not.
then
I
I
will
must have
send
been
you the
blocked.
screenshot right now.
Okay, and I'm
No,
gonna
you
send
weren't
you mine as
blocked.
well.
I don't have any response to my text message
Okay.
immediately after I text you.
Well,
I
again,
don't
I
have.
don't know what time I
I can
responded.
screenshot it and send it to you right
Okay,
now.
and I did the same. You text me at 1:32 and there are two messages to reply. I don't know what time they went back, but I did text you back and I'm sending the screenshot to you as well as we speak in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's sent.
Just sent mine to you too.
So, you didn't ask me in the live just now. You said, so I was wondering, does Blue feel the same way or does Blue believe that too? You could have texted me and asked me that, but you didn't. You text me with an accusation. Now, would you say that your text was a accusation as opposed to a question, Vaughn?
No, because she's in the live. I'm sorry. No, because you're in the live. You're she's clearly using your live for negative content to hurt someone else, and you're sitting there. I didn't hear you say, please don't use my content to hurt someone else. I'm trying to push positive content. My chat is a safe place. My channel is a
Oh,
safe
I get
place.
it. You want me to
Yeah.
say what you want me to say.
No, I don't want you to say what I want you to say. Here's how I feel about it. The simple fact that your channel is a positive, I consider it a safe space to share and be open. And if another content creator is going to take that and use it in a negative way, I don't expect you to sit there and say anything. Honestly, I don't even expect to see you there, especially because we do have a personal relationship and she's attacking me
So at the
and my
time you
relation, and
said,
she's using your content to do so.
so at the time that this content creator said you weren't killing a fly, in your opinion, her saying you weren't killing a fly, you were somewhere else, to you, that is considered weaponizing my life. Yes or no?
Yes, I do. because
Okay.
the
Then
entire
we can agree to
anybody
disagree.
that goes and listen to that live stream, that entire live stream is to attack me, Blue. It is to attack me.
Okay.
It is to attack Bond.
So based on that sentence that she said, that is your opinion of weaponizing. And I don't feel
She's
like
talking about me throughout the live and how I
but
am
we're talking
faking my
about the part where
relationship
you
with
text me.
God, Blue.
But
Okay, let's
you're
talk.
not listening. You're not
Okay, let's
listening at
talk.
all.
Okay, when I text you, I said how I felt because that's what I saw in that chat. I saw Journey Mirror in the chat allowing me hitting her link where I feel is a
Allowing,
safe space. Yes,
I allowed
allowing.
her.
Yeah, because I didn't see you say anything against it. And honestly, if you rather have nothing to do with it, I expect you to not be in the chat saying anything that can be misconstrued against you or to make you even look guilty.
Can you repeat? Can you please repeat what you just said? I want to make sure that I'm getting this clear. Can you repeat what you just said? You'd rather not what?
I said, if I were you
If you were
and
me,
my,
uh-huh. If
yes,
you were me, go
and
ahead.
my channel is a positive channel and a safe place for people
If
to
you were
share.
me and your
Yes,
channel was positive, uh-huh. In a safe place, uh-huh. Go ahead.
for people to share. I
Uh-huh.
wouldn't be anywhere where my content is being used against someone where they are being open and honest about what they're going through or what they are experiencing, because it does look like you are allowing or you are in agreement of what is being said.
Because
And
to
I
you
just
it
said,
looks like
yes,
I'm
yeah, because
allowing.
I'm the person being attacked. And you would feel the same way. If you're upset that your name was brought up on a panel and I didn't say, please don't bring her name up, even though nobody was saying anything negative against you, and neither was I. I'm sure you can understand that if your content where I come to share and be open and talk about spirituality and God is being used and weaponized against me to convince other that I'm being fake and phony with God, I would expect you not to want to show your face where you can be guilty or even accused of doing something negative against me.
So I want to address what you just said the best way that I can. If you were me, that's what you said. If you were me and it was your channel, you discussed how you would handle it. You then said that you don't expect me to do what you are saying I did. You also said that you brought up the situation that just recently happened on your panel and you said, quote, it wasn't negative. This content creator saying she wasn't killing no fly. She was in somebody else's chat to me ain't negative.
Thank you for minimizing my feelings, and I
I'm
will
not
say that
minimizing your feelings,
she
Von. I am
I'm gonna say
taking
this.
your exact words
Uh-huh.
and I am reminding us of what
Uh-huh.
you just said. You
Mm-hmm.
said the people on your thing didn't even say anything negative. I agree. Her saying you weren't killing a fly, you were somewhere else. I did not think that was negative.
Okay. And you didn't hear any of the other things that she was saying about me being on your panel and your live and how I'm playing in God's face, I'm playing in y'all face. You didn't hear none of that either, right?
Right now, we're still on the part where you text me and made you go live.
Okay.
And the part that you
Okay,
text
but
me
can you
and made
answer
you
my
go
question?
the
Can you
part
answer
where
my
you
question?
text me and made you
Okay.
go live was your assumption that I said speak it to something that you heard and that I was there during the you were not killing a fly. That is what you texted me about. I believe that's what you went live about. Am I not correct in that?
No, I went live to say, at first I asked her to stop lying on me. That was the first thing. And I
Right. So
even
I don't want
said,
to talk. I'm not talking about what
okay,
you were
that's
saying about
fine.
her. I'm saying
That's
my
fine.
part.
The
The part
second
for
thing I
me.
said was, Blue, if you don't believe that I wasn't on your panel or I was chat hopping, you can go look for yourself. I was in the beginning of his live. I text you when you hit live. I was on your panel. I was on your link. I was in your chat all night. because I didn't know what you were thinking. I didn't know what you were believing. All I know is this woman and I, okay,
Can you
have been in
repeat
a
that? Can you repeat that part you just said? You didn't
where
know
I didn't
what?
know what you were thinking. I
Yes.
didn't
And what
know what
else?
you were I didn't know what you were believing.
Uh
All
huh.
I saw
Yes.
was
Yes. Yes.
you all I saw was you in her live stream while she's talking bad about me. That's all I saw. I saw you say, speak it, speak on it, whatever, when she said I was going to send people down the wrong road. And what I said was, if Blue felt any type of way toward me, I said, Blue will say something to me in a text message, or she could have called me. I don't know what to think, because she's been saying that she only talked to me to make sure my walk is real. I'm like, does Blue feel that way? Does she have some a part of this that's going on behind the scenes against me? Because there's a lot of things that have been said, and there's been a lot of lies that have been told, and things that I have not done.
So I don't know about any other lies because I have been doing stuff on my own 3 channels. I haven't been in your live listening to everything. I haven't been in that other person's live listening to everything. And my comments on multiple lives will show that at 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm doing something on Blue's Plate. I pop in, hey y'all, have a good live, rest well, and I'm out. And then you might be live. So I might pop in your live and say something similar. And then I'm popping out and I'm somewhere else. I have not listened to you or the other person. Again, this is from a week ago when while you were live, I sent a prayer. And after I sent that prayer, I stopped listening to you too. I wasn't listening to whatever's going on. I was in this person's live today because this person shared my live. This person began to say something about my live, not about her first words, were not about other people. I heard her say, Blues Live made me sad. I stuck around and I replied to her about that. I'm with my phone at moments, I'm not with my phone at others. I heard her say, you weren't killing no flies. I heard her say, um, individual relationships. That's when I spoke on it. I heard her say the part you just mentioned about pulling away, or whatever you said. I heard that. Yes, multitasking around my apartment, doing things on multiple devices. I am listening to this live because this person shared a powerful live. I'm listening to this live because people that were in the chat also had listened to the live. There were comments on her community wall about the live. I stuck around because I heard her say Tina's name wrong. I let her know that her name is Tina. Everything I said in that comment section while I was watching has to do with me responding to something I said. Like when she said, Blue asked Vaughn a question and she was messing up the question. She couldn't remember the question. I typed to her what the question was. Everything I'm saying
Right.
that I
Hmm.
did in the timing that I did it is provable when the replay is watched. I
Okay.
never
So
said
she asked you
anything
a
bad towards
question.
you.
She asked you a question to further weaponize her own
Yes.
opinion
How do I
of
know
me.
that's what she's
Okay.
doing when I'm there for an intention to get
Okay.
what people got out of the live that they shared? It's like
She's
you expect
she's
me.
literally telling you what she got out of the live. That Vaughn was
This
playing in your face. Vaughn is playing in God's face. Vaughn is it went and gave her life over to God to have something to do with her, and it does not. But what I will say is, Blue, I'm not gonna yell at you. I have no ill will towards you. I admit what I said on my live
Vaughn,
when I
you
said,
popped a
"Hey."
live
Yes, I
and
did, and
went
I
off
didn't
on
say
me.
not one.
That's ill
No, I
will.
did
That's
not.
ill will towards
I
me.
did not go off on you, and anybody in this chat that is listening
Vaughn,
can go listen for themselves.
ill
I
will
didn't
is the
speak
fact that you went live
any.
in the first place.
Uh-huh.
That's ill
Ill
will.
will is sitting in a chat where a woman is dragging my spirituality, Blue. That's ill will. Sitting in a chat and answering questions so that she can twist and manipulate my intention on your panel. That's ill will. And you not stupid and you not crazy. And you know that that's what she does. You know that her channel is drama. You know that her and I are into it. You sent me prayers. So I don't expect the woman that's praying for me and my peace to be sitting somewhere that's disturbing my peace.
Well,
I
I'm
don't
sorry
expect
that
that.
I don't do what you expected me to do.
You're
You
right.
I'm
You're
sorry that I'm
right.
not
You're
doing what
you're
you
right.
expect. It's all
I
about
shouldn't have
what you
expected you.
expect.
I shouldn't have expected you not to do what you did or even put yourself in a situation that makes you look like you're doing something malicious or doing something to offend me or even to play in my face. You're right. I shouldn't have put you up there like that because, like you said, this is YouTube. You have the right to go wherever you want to go. But I do
No,
not
Von,
expect
you can go
anybody.
where you want
I
to
do
go, but
not
nobody
expect
else
it.
can.
No, we can all go wherever we want to go, but I would never
Except
sit
for
in a
Blue,
chat.
because I have a
I
positive
would
channel, so I
never
can't
sit
go.
in a chat. No,
Blue
I,
can't
as
go.
your friend and your sister in Christ, would never sit in a chat where
Blue can't go where somebody shared her live
I would not
to
sit in a
hear.
chat where someone is
Blue can't
calling you
go
a
where
fake
some.
Christian. I wouldn't do that to you because I know you take your spirituality serious.
Bottom line is, I'm not supposed to go where somebody has shared my live so that I can hear what they have to say about the content, not about the individuals, but about the content. And Von's reality, if you can't understand what I'm saying, like I'm trying to understand what you're saying, then there's no more to talk about. You didn't ask me if I agreed. You said to me, I see that you don't genuinely support me. You didn't ask me a question. You just came out the bag with, this is the way it is. And because I'm Von and this is what I see, this is the only way it can be. Somebody shares my chat, somebody shares my live and say they were sad, and I stick around to listen to what they got out of it. Not about the people, about the content. But I'm not supposed to be certain places while other people can be certain places. Because I have a positive channel, I shouldn't be listening. There are several people that are subscribed to Von and me with positive channels. And the funny thing is that more than you probably realize, people are listening. All types of people are listening to all types of people. But your opinion is that I shouldn't have even been there. Well, thank you, God, that we can have our own opinions. I saw a comment and I wanted to go back and read it. I see prayers in the chat. Again, as I said, this is not a normal live. I'm assuming because I tried to mute so that I could talk and it kept being unmuted, that there's not going to be any resolve. So I want to verify why I went live again. I went live last night with people on the panel. The live was shared by another content creator who thought the live was powerful. I went into that person's live to listen to what they had to say about my content on my channel, not to listen to what they had to say about an individual or individuals, but to listen to their feedback on the content. If people choose not to believe that that's what I was doing, that is 100% their right to believe that. A live was done about me openly for people that also support me to see. And from people that support me were also in the live. That is why I chose to come live and address it openly. because there was a point where someone said, let them discuss this in private. When Vaughn got here and asked for the link, I asked her if you would like to now do this privately. And she said, let's do it openly. And I allowed her up so that that could be done. At the end of this day, I am going to stick with what I know I did, and Vaughn is going to stick with what she believes. I'm going to stick with what I believe. She's going to stick with what she believes. Any content creator that shares something from my channel, I'm going to listen to what they have to say. It does not mean that I agree with what they are saying about the individuals on the panel. I know how to tune that out. I know how to not stop watching. I know how to say, okay, this is no longer about my content. I'm out, which I did tonight. I did not stay in that individual's live. My comments will show at what point I left. Just because you see a person there speaking to so and so, hey, so and so, speaking to fridge, writing down a scripture. Somebody dropped a scripture. And when I got back to my phone, I said, "Oh, that's a good scripture." And I wrote in the thing, "I'm going to write that scripture down and read it later." When I got back to my phone, what does that mean? That means that I didn't even hear everything, right? But I left it going so that I could hear what the channel holder got out of the content on my freaking channel. And if that is a problem, then so be it. The idea, oh, there's something else that I said. I said, this is probably close to the time that I was leaving out. I said, I agree with you, Purpose. Watching content of people that you enjoy, despite whatever else is going on with them and other people, shouldn't be an issue. I typed something like that. And I'll have to go back once the comments are available. I also want to read this comment by Candy, aka Rosie. Um, UP didn't use any parts of Blue's live. She said for people to watch it for ourselves if we hadn't seen it. I'm not quite sure what part that was said, and I'm not quite sure I heard that. I've heard that be said before. Um, don't go watch a person's live instead of the person playing it or talking too much about it. Um, yeah, I'm not quite sure where that was said, but it's in my comment section that was said. Um, that's always good, when people share the content. Go watch it, right? I do want to also say I did not know that I did not know that um, my live was going to be the topic of discussion today in that person's live. I was watching the Andrew Griffith show when no, I was watching Sanford and Son when that person went live. I chose, my 45-year-old self chose at that moment to go in and tell that person, thank you. In that process, my live had already been mentioned. This can be verified by going back to watch and listen. I stayed in that person's live because they had mentioned my live. I kind of feel like, because I've said this about 20 times, I kind of feel like the idea that what's acceptable for some people is not acceptable for others. I kind of feel like because you're positive, because you love Jesus, because you have a connection with Christ, you can't be other places where maybe that person doesn't have a connection with God. But I've listened to this content creator for almost 2 years. I've openly disagreed with her. I've quietly disagreed with her. I watch as much as I want to. I might go back. I might not. She may watch something I cook. She may just look at the end product. She happens to see me, hey, Blue, been a while. That was a great blah, blah, blah you made. I'm going to try that. Right? What other people are going through, whatever they're going through, however they're going through it, I do respect that. I'll say this again. When Von's reality was going through something, it hurt. I hurt for her in the middle of her life. I did send her a prayer. I reached out to another person and said, we got to pray. It was genuine then, and it's genuine now. But today, it's this supposed to be inspirational channel. Shouldn't have even been over there because we supposed to be sisters in Christ. Funny thing is, a lot of your sisters in Christ watch that person. So is it okay to watch that individual and listen to that individual as long as you don't type in the chat? Can we deal with that for a minute? Is it okay to watch the individual, listen to the individual, as long as you don't type in the chat so that the other person you see, you support, doesn't see you typing in the chat? Let's just say it the way it is. It's a whole lot of people watch this person that also support Von's reality. They don't type in the chat. But when they get to Von's reality, they're typing because they've been listening to this person. So they're typing how they feel. So had I listened and not typed, we wouldn't be here. There wouldn't have been a live done on me. I have no control. I have no special alakazam, a Michikapool, a bibbity bobbity freaking boo. I don't have none of that. I don't got the juice to allow a person to or not to do something. I know my intention for being there. The chick shared something on my panel, on my channel. The chick called it powerful. It did something for her, and I wanted to figure out what it was. Other people watched it, and I wanted to figure out what it did for them. And I did as I watched the chat, as I listened, as I started seeing different people saying different things. I began to see what the content, not the people, but the content was doing for them. And to everyone that's praying in the chat, thank you. This is not a normal live. And I'm always saying my channel is 98% positive. And if this drops it down to 88% positive, then so be it. And if people feel like, okay, Blue's not positive and they want to back away because they're here or because of what Vaughn said, because it's happened before, just about a year ago, right? People left me because of some mess that should have never really been mess, right? So if that happens again, I'm well prepared for it. Um, the channel will do what it's supposed to do. But I'm not going to keep, I'm here because I was brought up in a live. I'm here because I was being depicted as a tool for somebody else to do something. And I don't, this ain't Cinderella, and I'm not the fairy godmother. I don't have no basket to pull stuff out of. I don't have no fairy dust to put on people. You know what I'm saying? I don't want people to come in my chat and tell me what to do. I would have never gone over there and said, please don't do that. Please don't talk about so and so. Because that somebody came to my chat and asked me not to do something that I'm going to do. I guess that's just not me. And if I'm less of a Christian because I didn't do what Von's Reality wanted me to do, then I'll be less of a Christian in your book. If I'm less of a positive channel because I sat there to listen to what might be said about the content, if I'm less of an inspirational person, if I'm less of a motivational person, I get it. I see the text messages. I know that y'all are concerned. And normally I'm listening. But right now, I need to finish this and then seriously not address it anymore. Are there going to be more lives on me after this? Probably. It's not the first time. It won't be the last. I've expressed what I was doing. And for the same people that had, and I didn't say this when Vaughn was here, and you might still be listening, or you might be live again. I don't know. But somebody will probably tell you that I said it. There was a time when I heard you say you weren't even going to be watching this person anymore. So when you text me, I see you in so and so's chat for about 5 seconds. I was surprised because I did hear that part in one of your lives. I'm not going to watch them. I think the title of the live was blocked. I think that might have been one of the last lives that I heard snippets of. So you're asking me not to be there. Blue, you're going to lose half your subscribers. Hey, whatever. You're asking me not to be there listening, but you're there. Say it again, Blue. You're asking me not to be there to hear what they're saying about the topic of my content that they shared, but you're there seeing me type. Had I not typed, you wouldn't have known I was there. Just like most of the people that support you, sis, are there. And they have positive content. I don't understand that part. But I'm not going to try to understand it. Had my video not been shared, I wouldn't have even been there. Had there not been a comment about my video making them sad, I would not have been there as long as I was. Had I not heard them mess up the name, I wouldn't have been there. I wouldn't have corrected it for them in the chat. Um, um, if it hadn't been shared, I wouldn't been there when to encourage Jasmine's way that she brought something great last night. That's in the comment section too of this live that we're talking about. I know what I was there for. I'm a channel holder, a content creator, and my content was shared. And I wanted to know what that person thought was so powerful about the content. I dislike that I feel like I've had to explain myself. But had I had a text message with a question instead of a statement, I thought you, instead of I see you in so and so's chat and it's okay, but I hope you, you don't believe what she's saying, do you? Then that would have been a whole different type of, but that's not what I got. So that's why we're here. And again, I said this in the beginning and I'm going to say it now. To all of you that are new, sorry, not sorry. I'm not 100% positive all the daggone time. And when a panel is hit and there's a misconception of what I'm doing, what my grown self is doing, even though other grown people are everywhere, right? I hate that I had to, that I felt the need. I'm not going to say I had to do this. I felt the need to do this. And I felt it so much so that I'm willing to take the consequences of people feeling like they don't want to be here anymore. And I want you to know how much I really mean that. And I feel like you can really tell um, how a person feels when you are able to visualize them. So I want to turn my camera on for this part. Give me 1 second. I want to have my camera on for this part. Um, because I know that this is going to really bother people. And even though it's out there that I'm not all positive and see, I told y'all she did it, that's going to be regardless, right? People are going to feel that way regardless. Give me 1 second. 1 second. I'm gonna have to turn my air on. I'm gonna have to turn the air on, y'all. Give me 1 second. Because now I'm about to talk to my subscribers and my supporters. Because I want this to be clear. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Hey, y'all. You are human, Blue. We all have feelings. Be true to yourself. Drama is not of God. Confusion is not of God. This is very true. This is very true. Time and context is hard to achieve in text and comments. This is very true as well, Echo. Very true, very true. It's dangerous to give anyone this much power over us. Lean on God and not our own understanding. Very true. I accept all of that. I accept all of that. And thank you for the encouragement and the praying and the scriptures and all that. I greatly appreciate it. I do. I see the prayer echo. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. He is a liar. The devil is a liar. And I just wanted my actions based on what my grown self did, based on what I know my intention of being there was. Because everything's not about anybody else. I was there for me, for Tia Michelle Blue Burrell, not for nobody else. When a person shares something and they say, this was powerful, I want to know why they thought that. You understand? I just realized I don't have it on my jury. Okay. I want to say this to my subscribers, my supporters. Some of you are also Von's subscribers and supporters. The last time this situation happened, a lot of you left. A lot of you left. Why did you leave? Because you agreed with one over the other. And I get it. I get it. See, I remember a situation where a content creator, another content creator, they were going through it. And I was fully aware, right? I'm not fully aware of this situation, not to the fullest, right? But there was a content creator going at it with another content creator. And I was fully aware of the situation, pretty much play by play. But I didn't treat that other person different. You know why I didn't treat her different? I didn't like what was happening between the two people that I support. But when one was going through it when the two, let me make it clear. You got this person and this person, and they're going at it. And I support them both. And I'm fully aware that they're going at it. And they're not talking. But when the one showed up in my chat, I didn't treat her different. I didn't treat her different. When the one showed up on my channels on Blues Plate and Journey Mirror, I didn't treat her different, even though I knew that she was going through it with somebody else that I support and cared about. Many of you in here right now know what I'm talking about. Because it seems like every summer on YouTube is something. Last summer, it was me. I guess this summer, maybe it's going to be me again. I don't know. But when those two individuals that I equally support were going at it, I don't know the intention of one of them dropping in my chat. I don't know the intention, but I didn't treat them different because whatever was going on wasn't involving me. We talk about we're going to stay mutual, but if you really don't know the understanding of the meaning of the word, then you should probably not say it. Because when you're going to be neutral, apologies, the word is neutral, you do like the example I just gave. You love them both from a distance. You don't treat them different. Even though you get in an earful and a snootful of what's going on, you don't treat them different. That's neutral. I even was accused one day of treating the person different, and I really wasn't. And I had my own personal feelings about the person based on what I was hearing. And I still never one time treated them different when they came in my chat. But many of you have already unsubscribed. Many of you watch, yeah, Be You Blue. Many of you watch Purpose. Many of you right now looking at me watch Purpose. Many of you. Many of you watch Von's Reality. You might not type in one chat, but you do in the other. You encourage. You make assumption. You share opinion. But I was literally somewhere today just because my content was shared. And just because I wanted. Just because I wanted to know what that person thought was powerful about my content for my own channel, for my own panel. I didn't comment about Von, not one time. I didn't comment in a good way and say, stop, don't do that. I'm not going to another content creator and type in, don't do that. I'm also not going to that content creator and telling them, yeah, you right about her. I'm not doing that either. I'm not doing that either. But I came to show my face, to speak to my subscribers. Last summer, many left, and it was hard to rebuild. And I knew that many left because of the debacle from the summer of 2024, where my name was in some stuff that didn't even involve me, where I brought some stuff to YouTube that shouldn't have never been brought to YouTube. And even after I got rid of it, I was still dragged. My husband was dragged by people that had nothing to do with the situation. People that didn't know the whole side. Well, Blue, why did they not know the whole side last year? They didn't know the whole side last year because Blue didn't do what I'm doing right now. Why did I not do what I'm doing right now? Because at the end of the day, you're going to believe what you want to believe. And I'm not here to try to change anybody's mind. I'm just here to say what thus says Blue about Blue's actions. So last year around this time, many people left. So I say to my viewers, no, I say to my subscribers and supporters, if you are listening to this now and you are unhappy with me, because like Vaughn said, she expected more out of me. I almost went there and started talking about expectations of other people, but I still have Holy Spirit in me, which is why you haven't heard me cuss. Did I yell and scream? Yeah. I'm not going to say I screamed. Did I yell? Yeah. But no cussing, no dragging, no, none of that. Yes, I did say, make it make sense. You said you weren't going to be somewhere anymore, yet you saw me typing in the chat. So you were there. I did say that. But that's kind of like a fact. It's not an opinion, it's a fact, right? There's a difference between the truth. The truth is left to perception. It is. But the fact, that's something that you can prove. So I can prove that, but anyway, to my subscribers, to the 1,176 of you, if you choose to leave because of this situation, if you choose to leave because you feel like you have to pick sides, if you choose to leave because you agree more with one content creator than the other, then it just means you weren't supposed to be here in the first place. Then it just means that there's no neutral. I hear that word a lot on YouTube. So I'll say thank you for the support that you did give. Um, don't treat people different just because somebody else is having an issue with them. And let me say that I apologize for feeling the need to come live. No, that's not what I want to say. I don't apologize for feeling the need to come live. I apologize to those of you that might be saying, oh my gosh, I never expected this of Blue. I, Von said on my panel tonight and said, I'm sorry that I put you up there with somebody that I didn't think would do that. I want to reply to that. You really should think about yourself too, because others might feel the same way about you. And this is why we have to be careful about where we put people, about a pedestal or a higher something we put them on. And I know what it'll be moving on. Blue did that, but so and so would never. But then so and so might do stuff that Blue wouldn't do. So um, I appreciate the support. But if this situation makes you unsubscribe, you were never supposed to be here in the first place. So deuces. You a Christian and you shouldn't be. I say I'm a believer. I've shared this many times. I don't do religion over relationship, which is why when Purpose said it's about individual relationship, I was like, yes, speak it, because I say it all the time. And I'm going to keep saying it. And I'm going to keep agreeing with it when others say it. Not because they said it, but because it's true. Because it's a fact. I'm going to finish the comments. And then we're going to be out of here. Anything wrong? I will still watch your content from time to time. I just been watching like, thanks, Candy. As a content creator, I understand where you're coming from. You know what's funny? I sometimes wonder how true that is, right? It even came up tonight, you know. Blue, how would you feel if you were saying, you know how it feels to be somewhere and see somebody. I do know how it feels. I also get an understanding before I pop a live. See, because we're all different. Because let's talk about it. Had I been somewhere and seen that, I would have asked a question. I would have said, because, we're talking about how you don't expect me to be doing something. Well, I would have texted Von and said, you know, da 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 da. The me today, this person, right? Well, I wouldn't text it and been like, um, I know you're over in Jessica's chat. And by no means is this about you can't be there, but she's saying stuff about me that might be negative, or she's going to end up saying something about me that might be negative, and I just want you to know, or I just want to know, I want to make sure that you don't, you know what, I'm lying. This me wouldn't have done that. Why? Because I truly am learning that we all have different perspectives, opinions. You know what? UP even said it today. She said, from a distance, I'm going to say it the best way I remember. She said, these are my opinions. Don't come for anybody. And for my own timeline, that was after I had got the text that I see you really don't support me. I'm glad I know now. Yeah, she did say that. She said, these are my opinions. Don't come for anybody. And she must have said it at some point. You know what? I rewound. I rewound at some point UP's live to hear that, because when I typed, I agree with you, UP, it wasn't at the same time that she had said it. Yeah, 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 yeah. In fact, somebody else had typed in the chat, because I'm there for the content, right? I'm there because I'm listening for how the content was received, not listening for anybody to talk about individuals, right? Like I tell you guys, when you come to my lives, get what you can get for you. So I'm there to get what I can get for me as the person that did the content, right? So I must have rewound because at some point somebody said the story about the woman walking into her healing was powerful, but it got ignored. The comment said something like that. And if I remember correctly, I was still at a point where I was rewinding. So I responded to them late, right? I think I might have put late response because I rewound it. I said late response. Yes, the woman walking into her healing was powerful. Yeah. Yeah. So at this point, I don't know at what point I left because again, I have done this rewinding thing on UP's live. But she did say at some point, this is my own opinion. This is my own opinion. Something, something, something. Um, don't come for people. And then somebody said something about the woman getting her healing was powerful. And I responded to them late. So yeah, I see you, Senna. I don't know where I saw you, but I saw you. Senna, uh, hearts back at you. Hearts back at you. Again, we share subscribers. Um, and that was one of the reasons why I hit this live 2 hours ago. Because I saw, right? Just like Vaughn saw me typing in UP's chat. I saw the typing. Um, Not that anybody had said anything bad, but they were only responding off of what Vaughn said. So, yeah, to my people, to not my people, but to Journey Mirror subscribers and to Blues Plate subscribers, I get it. I'm not behaving the way you I'm not behaving, even though I'm not cussing and moving furniture. I'm not behaving in a way that a content creator should, with positive content and that praise for people. Like that was weird that Vaughn brought that up in her thing. She's like, you pray for me. You do this. Like I don't know anybody that's just one way all the time. And I hate that this is happening. I literally just wanted to know this person's feedback on my content, especially after she said it made her sad. You know whose fault this is? This is Blue's fault. You know why? Before I got monetized, I didn't put names in my title. And then after I got monetized, I started putting names in my title. And I don't know, the other person that shared would have to totally answer this. So this is not about you. This is just in general. But I'm starting to think, because Von's Reality has been on panel with me on my own channel before. Last night was not the first time that she was on panel with me on this channel. Um and that wasn't shared. I'm wondering if putting the names in the title, I just feel like people should get recognition, right? I just feel like, with so much going on, I just feel like, hey, let's do something, you know. I want to say something else too about the question that UP asked. UP asked me, what was the question you asked Von? She did say that. I think she said she asked Von a question, and I didn't answer her right away, probably because I had to rewind the thing. But I said to her, I asked Von to give a reflection not based on YouTube. But the rest of that sentence was, I asked Von to do, because we're supposed to be doing sunset reflection. And I said, a reflection not based on YouTube, because we're not doing that over here. I had every intention for it to be, as Von said, I thought it was a safe place. You thought? Blue, stop. This is a safe place to be yourself. It's my safe place where I can be myself. And everybody in my comment section on a live or on a video can be themselves. And everybody on my panel can be themselves. And the more I stay on here, I'm getting angry because of the things that were said about my channel that's not true. It's not a safe place. But I hear Holy Spirit, and I'm going to listen to Holy Spirit. And I'm going to end my live. Not because of any text messages, not because of any other comments, but because I see what's really being done. And I want to say something to UP. I came to your channel today because you said the live was powerful. I've watched you enough to know that you will discuss lives in part, right? You'll discuss lives in part. I knew you wouldn't play it, but I thought you might express why you thought it was powerful. I saw your community wall where other people had watched it and commented. I actually replied to somebody and then I erased it. Um, so I came with the intention of hearing what it did for you, the content. Um, I didn't hear your whole live. Heck, you might be live right now. I don't know. I didn't hear your whole live. I didn't hear all the parts of it while I was there. Hence why I was responding late to people. You've done nothing to me. Just like other situations where people hadn't done nothing to me. I pray for all people of any background. But UP, you said to me one day, you said, thank you, Blue, for not judging me. You're welcome. And I will continue not to judge you. And I would hope that we would all not so strongly, like I can't say we're never going to judge people because we judge people verbally. We judge people non-verbally. We judge people with the way we look at them. That's the nonverbal. We judge people by looking at them like this. That's the nonverbal. And we judge people with our mouths, right? But I just want you to know why I came to your channel today was to thank you for sharing and to hear what you got out of the live. Um, and I think that's all I need you to know because, again, people are going to believe what they want, but I just want you to know um, that I appreciate the share and that you felt it was powerful and that outside of the people, you got something out of it. I think I heard you say it made you start thinking or something. I'm all for people believing the way they want to believe. I've said it several times. That has not changed. Um, on those last days, I stand before God by myself, not with my husband, my mama, it, my bonus children, none of that, and not with anybody on YouTube. We truly do have to work out our own soul salvation. And Tavon, I don't give a flying fig Newton whether you were killing a fly, a ladybug, a spider, whether you were in 15 different chats at the same time that you were on panel. It's my channel. And when I'm not talking, I'm other places, as I said when I started this live. Again, Vaughn, speak it because she said something about individual relationship. Again, Vaughn, you say we can go where we want to go, but that's not what I'm getting tonight. I hope that you will understand where I'm coming from as I've tried to understand where you're coming from. This is going to be have to be one of those agree to disagree. I did offer for you to do it privately. I offered you live. I asked you, do you want to finish this privately? I explained to you why I did this openly, because it was done openly and I wanted to address it openly, but I did offer for you to do it privately. Um, Lastly, you said, you shouldn't be anywhere where stuff is going to be misconstrued. You shouldn't be anywhere where it may seem like, it may appear that. I say to you, after what we've been through, you should have asked me. I say to you, just like how you say we shouldn't be somewhere where it appears, you shouldn't make assumptions. Just like I shouldn't make assumptions. Because had you asked me, I'd have told you why I was there. I wouldn't have felt like you needed to know that. But if you came to me with the concern, then I could have explained to you why I was there. I want to know what she's going to say about my life, about the topic. I want to know what she's going to say about the prayer, right? The prayer that I took from the thing and I put it back out there. Maybe she's going to say something about the prayer. I want to know. She shared it and said it was powerful. I want to know. And I could have explained that to you. But you came at me demanding. You came at me with a statement. You came at me with this is the way it is. You didn't come at me with a question. I believe that's all. Y'all know what's funny? I really feel like going to buy some nicotine. I call myself trying to like officially quit over the past 48 hours. I'm not doing too good, but I have been live this long without any. So, um, and before the live, I didn't have any. Um, so maybe I can just drink some chamomile tea and go to sleep. I don't know. instead of walking to the store on this Sunday morning. I think that's it. Was that all the comments? Okay. I'm not sure who Raybar is. I think I saw you trying to come up on the panel. Uh, Hi, Key. I didn't know you were here. I'm so glad you got the journal. For anyone that has the journal and you feel like you hate that you got it because of the content you're watching tonight, I'm sorry. Candy K, I didn't see you come in here. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I'm at the end of the comments now. Okay, Tina, Teresa, all y'all that were in here. Hey, I guess I was at the end of the comments. I gotta get used to the Blue, I have no ill. Gosh, this message was a half an hour ago from Vaughn. I have no ill will towards you. I will not speak on you anymore. My life is still up. I didn't let anyone drag you, and people were in support of both of us. All right. My live is still up. Okay. The live you said you were gonna. I think that's the last thing I heard you say. Something about private it. That's still up. Yeah, I heard you on panel say you didn't let anyone drag me. And even if they were dragging me, it's not, it wouldn't be, I want to address this since I'm just reading it a half hour later. I didn't let anyone drag you. If somebody was dragging me, you wouldn't be letting them or not letting them. Right? Like, I think I heard you say, I told them we not doing that. But isn't that what people will do? Like, if the channel holder is doing it, then the people in the comment section are gonna do it too. But then you'll have the ones that won't do it. Kind of like with UP's live. If she was doing something and people had something to say about it, but I wasn't saying anything for or against, because that's not what I was there for. Something to think about. Okay, I'm going back down. I think I saw that, Rosie. Fridge, hey, I didn't know you were in here. Key, nothing wrong with putting names in the title. Whenever I have my turn to come to the panel, please put my. Of course, I'm watching from the bushes, but you are a content creator and free to go where you want. For someone to challenge your freedom to explore is wrong. Yeah, I don't think she was really. Hi, Candy K. Candy K all day. Don't think she was challenging. Not saying, I don't think she was challenging my freedom to explore. I'm gonna address that in a second. No smoking on my watch. I'll grab the belt. Listen, I'm trying. Yeah, I'm not gonna read that comment from you, Yaz. You are speaking on things you know nothing about because you're not even saying the person's name correctly. So moving on. Key, he said the belt. Right, Shadow. I'm seeing your laughter. I'm 2 minutes behind. I'm seeing your laughter. I'm like, that's somewhere that you go and get like Skin So Soft. Who is that? We don't know anybody but I had to double read it. I'm like, are they in here trying to sell some? Because listen, my elbows are a little ashy. I could use some Skin So Soft. I've seen your name before somewhere. First Lady Big Michi G. I've seen your name somewhere before. Welcome to Journey Mirror, where we remain in the proper position and posture to achieve peace, positivity, and power. But today, Blue got out of the proper position and posture, uh, and did a little bit something different because this channel is, well, it probably dropped 2%. So this channel is like 96% positive. So welcome, First Lady. um, Key, I'm reading your comment late, 2 minutes, 3 minutes late. I don't think anybody drug anybody. I don't think it was a dragging. That's probably not the word the word to use. I see Vaughn is still here. I thought you were gone like 30 minutes ago. At 6:01, you say to you again, I'm moving on. Oh, okay. Kendi K is in here advertising. And Vaughn in the chat still trying to get her point across. You do that. It's like what you say is it. And you continue to drive it and drive it because you've said all this already. So I'm not going to read that out loud. The hard feelings, there clearly is. There clearly is. You're no longer mad or sad, but you're still going on. No hard feelings. And nor will I will see. Okay. 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 Kendi K. Ooh, 10 a.m. My goodness, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Yeah, I probably did say that. Key, I don't remember. I don't remember. Please, everybody, if you're going to form an opinion, form your opinion. Support people because you like that individual. Continue your support with them because you like that individual, because you enjoy that individual's content, right? Again, let's not act like as long as we don't type, Jessica won't know that we're here observing what's happening, right? My thing was today I typed. Had I not typed, we wouldn't be here right now. Had I not typed, we wouldn't be here right now. So, yeah. What's that emoji with the mind blown? Mind blown right now. But again, there were 40 something people in here because there was chaos. We can't get 40 something people in here when we're talking about the word of God, giving inspiration, giving affirmation, when we're actually doing like the actual right thing, right? When we're talking about, you know, spirituality and actually living it and walking it, right? Not where there's talk about spirituality, there's, you know, the Bible says, and then there's like a whole bunch of other stuff going on. Like, you know, we don't do that. But almost 50 people in here over some chaos. It's amazing. It never ceases to amaze me. It never ceases to amaze. That's the emoji. It never ceases to amaze me. And I've always said that. I've always said that. I said it. If I was to get on here and pop off and start moving furniture, it'd be 100 and 200, you know? So in staying who I am, hello to all you content creators watching that are watching just for the drama. Drama over. Come back. Um, come back on Monday for sunset reflections. Or come back on Monday for rise and shine, sunrise, affirmation, encouragement, and inspiration. Okay, where I will be standing back in the position and posture to achieve peace, positivity, and power. I would say for you all to check out Journey Mirror, the journal. I am going to say it. Heck, check out my channel description where I have a journal of affirmations that I wrote and a place for you to journal and manifest. But it is 6 a.m. and I'm really, really getting warm because this light is shining on my face. So I'm about to get out of here. Y'all have a wonderful Sunday. Um, you do fall asleep on game night, Key. Don't do that come Friday. You know, Friday is the drawing. So don't when you come Friday, don't fall asleep. We're gonna call your name and you have 60 seconds to respond. And if you don't respond, you are going to miss out on a cash blessing, ma'am. So don't come falling asleep on Friday, Key. You're more than welcome to come back. First Lady, where have I seen your name? Mm, I don't know. Maybe it's just the First Lady part. We're not gonna be here all night because I will sit here. My bull brain, that Taurus brain, will be sitting here like, where have I seen that? But anyway, okay. Shadow, stop it. We're not doing Haagen-Dazs. I done told you this already. They were not here for the word. They're from the Church of Haagen-Dazs. They are not okay over here. The Church of Haagen-Dazs. Where have I seen that before? You were talking about Haagen-Dazs today. Yeah, I told you we do Magnum, not Haagen-Dazs. I am gonna pray about it. Tammy, I'm not sure that I've seen you before, but I am going to pray for myself first. Always for myself first, because one thing that I know for a fact is that it always starts with you. It always starts with the person, not who you're looking to or who you're pointing to, but it starts with you. And one thing I'm very big on is looking at me first. As far as how people cuss, um, and what I need in my life, I guess I disagree with that because when I was cussing, when I was doing stuff, people didn't push me out of their life, right? Like, that's your opinion, Tammy. That's your opinion. Um, but I don't really believe that you should push people. You said you don't need that in your life. I don't think that you should push people out of your life because they do something different than you, right? Because there are people that I listen to that do cussing, that do cuss, that curse, but I get something out of something that they say. So, Tammy, I don't know who you are. I'm not on my other device to check to see who you are or if you have a channel or anything like that. But if you're a person that likes to push people out of your life for different stuff, this is what I would encourage you, like I encourage any other day of the week, on YouTube, off YouTube. Think about stuff that you do that may not be acceptable to others. And think about the people that love you in spite of. Think about think about the people that stuck with you in spite of. See, because what we're not going to do, I know that Vaughn said she's moving on. I don't know what that means for her. I don't need to move on from Vine. This is nothing compared to what I moved on from before, right? So I'm not gonna move on. You said I don't need that in my life. I, we gonna be here till 6 o'clock tonight. Let me holler at you for a minute. We all have done something that has made people feel like I don't want that in my life. I chop up today to misunderstanding and miscommunication. That's what I chop it up to. She may move on, and I don't know what that means for her. Time will tell. I don't have a reason to need to move on. I'm in a place in my life where we can agree to disagree. I'm not. I'm not moving away from you because you do something right. And Tammy, if you feel that way, if you're not a troll or you're not a bot, if you feel that way because you would have had to have listened to her to know what she does or doesn't do, if you feel that way enough to be able to think you could come here and say something, maybe your intention is that I would say something right along with you negatively. That's not my style. That's not how I roll. Okay. Welcome to Journey Mirror. My name is Blue, aka Tia, like on the screen. You see, if you feel like that, because that's the thing, people will be like, this person does this too much, but they'll still watch. So if that's how you feel, and you don't need that in your life, then are you still gonna go watch? Just asking. Real talk. Okay. Tammy, you've been here a few times, never seen your name. Yes, stay woke, Key. I'm giving you the warning now. Friday, stay woke. God tells us constantly to take heed to thine own. Yeah, to thine own. Yeah. I don't believe you can be a child of God and do the things they do. Not sure who they are. Um, being a child of God doesn't mean that you, I believe Jesus died for my sins and rose again on the third day, and now I'm saved. It doesn't mean that you're gonna, right? Jesus is not he's not sitting at the right hand of the Father with fairy dust, right? There's no Zala Kadula Michikapu happening with Jesus. You don't just automatically, I'm a child of God and I'm not doing any of that stuff anymore. No, you're supposed to work out your own soul salvation daily, right, Tammy? Daily, right? So I respect your belief. I respect that's how you feel. But I don't feel that way. I feel like it's a daily thing. You know what I mean? Mm, yeah, we changed. We changed. I've changed. From when I started this channel, June 2023 to today, I've changed. And Tammy, you know what? I don't know you, but I would assume that you've changed, right? So while we're busy focusing on the changes that others have made and it causes us not to watch them anymore, have you changed? I think everybody in here has changed, right? And that is your preference not to watch her. I don't have no reason not to watch her. If I go over there tomorrow or in an hour and my wrench is gone from both my channels, that's okay. I don't have no reason to not watch her. But you do what works for you. But we all have gone through changes. This app will cause you to go through changes. Real life will cause you to go through changes. You understand what I'm saying? So you seem to have some really strong, ideas and opinions, and I just want to encourage you to take those very things and look inward, right? Because we all have changed. You know, I've changed, and I'm gonna change again tomorrow. I'm going to do it better tomorrow, and I'm going to do it better the next day and the next day. I have an affirmation that says, I'm not who I was last year. I'm not who I was last month. I'm not who I was last week. Heck, I'm not even who I was yesterday. And if God delay his coming tomorrow, I'm not going to be who I am right now. I'm going to make the conscious decision to make some changes. And in that process, I might make some changes for the bad. And then I got to do some soul searching and some praying and some fasting and flip it on the other side and get it right. But we all change. I'm glad you work hard on your work with God. I'm glad you no longer drink and cuss. You don't do the things that are considered sin. That's good. That's good. You're working out your own soul salvation. So since you know that you no longer cuss and you that means you used to, then pray for the person that you said cusses like a sailor. Pray for them. What you gotta stop watching them for? You obviously like their content, so pray for them. Especially because you know that you once cussed. So pray for them so that they'll stop cussing. I'm not gonna stop watching somebody because they cuss. I want to go back and address you don't need that. Let me tell you something. People really better stop pushing folks to the side because of stuff they do that doesn't fit their idea of Christianity or doesn't fit their idea of whatever the religion is. Let me tell you why. Half of the people in the Word of God, the Bible, did a whole lot of mess before they put paper to scroll. A whole lot of mess. So the people that you want to push to the side, and this is not to Tammy, this is to anybody that's actually wants to listen and get some understanding and some knowledge and some fact. The very people you kick to the curve may be the very people that's going to help you get to where God wants you to be. So I don't give a flying fig Newton how much another person cuss. I know when to leave, and I know when to, I listen. UP said it today. You know, she said, and I don't do the word Christian, but like for my own self, but she was like, probably another time that I was rewinding, and something I probably agreed with. Something about Christians won't be offended. She must have said it early. You know, Christians, actual Christians won't be offended because of something, something. All I know is I have learned in my life that those homeless people you walk by and turn your nose up to, you believers in God that walk by and turn your nose up, or just anybody. Do you know how much I get out of listening to different people, regardless of not whether or not they're cussing? It's somebody that lights up on his live. He just, that grass. But baby, the things that he says, they hit for me. You don't need to be smoking weed. I'm not finna watch you. But I'm getting something out of them. I go through the same thing over here. Because of last summer, people kick me to the curb. She ain't no good. I told y'all she wasn't no good. Right? Funny thing is that they're still watching because they keep getting like memberships. When the free memberships are gifted, their names pop up, so you know they're actually watching. Um, but yeah, you just can't push people to the side. And the people you think you don't need in your life are the people you need in your life, because you know what they'll do sometimes? They'll push you closer to who you say God is to you. Say it again, Tia. They'll push you closer. The people that you want to push away will actually, that you say you don't need in your life, will actually be in your life and push you closer to who you say God is to you. Blue, what do you mean who you say God is to you? Because I don't really give two flying fig Newtons who you say God is to me. I know who he is to me. I need him to be who he is to you. And I don't fuss about that, right? If you think God is a woman, that's your business. If you I don't really care. And that's the honest to God's truth. I don't care. Right? That's why UP was like, at one point she was like, thank you for not judging me. What I'm gonna judge you for? The dirt that I've done. And I'm a, like, okay, and yes, there's been moments, but man, like that comment just got to me, that so and so does this and that, and you don't need them in your life anyway. What I was gonna say to that is that's not true. Let's make it clear. That's not true. Because there is someone that needs what you have. You are someone someone needs. Say it again. You are someone someone needs, and someone has what you need. And there's a reason that after all the buffoonery and the bull crap that happened just a year ago, that there was a reconnection, because I have something that Vaughn needs, and Vaughn has something that I need, and neither one of us might not know what it is. So the comment that move on, you don't need that in your life, or you don't need her in your life, you haven't watched enough. Because if there was not something there, there would never have been a reconnection. And let me say this too. As things begin to get better for people, you can expect things to get worse. I do not know the intentions of my live being shared. I have nothing to do with that. We tell people comment, like, share, subscribe. I don't know half the reasons of why stuff is shared sometimes. But I know I wanted to know what was received out of it, right? But people all over this app have what other people all over this app need. And it's a cussing sailor. It's a person that comes live drunk. It's a person that may not be a believer, and they've got something that can help somebody. You never know what you're going to get. So please stop writing people off. Now, when it's a God thing, when the God that you say you believe in has told you to shift and move, by all means, shift and move. When God moves, you move just like that. But as far as writing people off because of certain things they do, like what happened to me last year, like what's probably happening, gonna happen to me now, hey, whatever. But it's not okay. It's not okay to do. And then you writing people off, but you still watching. So what's the point? I'm gonna take away being a subscriber, but I'm still gonna watch you. So you might as well just stay and be a subscriber. Woo! Anyway, let's get out of here. Right. Ain't gonna be no Stonecaster. She said she hoped Christians don't be offended. Key, you were there. You were there because we were talking about the book. I think I asked you something, and then I'm gonna get off key. I think I asked you something because I remember you mentioned in the book. Did you? Nothing wrong with cussing like a construction worker, except during school. Shadow, go to bed. There were more than 10 commandments. That's true. Not be amongst it because you were delivered. That's true, Key. Thank you for I'm glad I went back to read that. I'm behind in the comments. Tammy, Key is on point with what she said. Tammy, Key said God doesn't want her to be amongst because that's something she was delivered from. That's true. But the comment just came across more judgmental. I think that's why I went that way. Yeah. The 700 commandment, nothing wrong with this, but then there's a shit. Yeah. Key, I forgot you were there. Yeah. She was saying, I think she said that because what she was saying wasn't meant for everyone. Right, 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 right. The Lord tell us to be circumspect, meaning to watch our surroundings, but to be quick to judge and gossip. Right. Like I said, I don't watch anymore. Yeah, really, really, I get it. I get it. So let me say this, and I'm really gonna go. What will happen is that Tammy, your comments, let me tell you how this is going to work. Your commenting and me addressing it the way I freaking choose to address it on my channel is going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem because I'm not addressing it the way people might think I should. But there's no need to erase your comment. I don't feel like you were being disrespectful. I addressed it the way I wanted to address it. And if we got to be fellow content creators and friends and sisters and brothers based on how we want each other to handle stuff, then none of us should be sisters and brothers. Tammy's in my chat and she commented, and I dealt with it the way I chose to. I don't think that she's being disrespectful. I don't think that she said nothing out the way. I don't think that Tammy's being rude. Tammy made a comment. She said, okay, I'll leave. Huh? Okay, bye, Tammy. I'm actually saying something like really good, but see how easy that happens? I'm saying that she ain't do nothing wrong, in my opinion, but the way I handled it is going to be an issue. And Tammy says she's leaving. Nah, Key, let her go. Let her go. Let it go. Tammy, you didn't bother me anyway. Tammy, I don't know what you're leaving for, but hey, listen, okay. I'm literally saying she didn't say anything wrong, and I dealt with it the way I wanted to, and she say she out. Anyway, I wasn't talking about Tammy. I was talking about the way I'm dealing with it is going to be an issue, in my opinion. And I'm going to be crucified just because I even said that. Because, Blue, you're only supposed to be positive. You're only supposed to go positive places. You're only supposed to say positive things. And if you go to these places that's not positive, you're not supposed to chat. You're not supposed to say hello to anybody. You're not supposed to be in the presence of stuff being said that's not nice and that's not positive and that's not negative. You're just supposed to be Miss Fat Mary Muffet sitting on a tuffet, or however the song goes. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Never gonna happen, 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 never gonna happen. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right, yeah, we gotta go. I done went about 5 hours farther than where I was going. Um, I don't know. Kendi K said something about 10 o'clock. I'm assuming 10 o'clock would be, so if it's 10 o'clock CST, then it would be 12 o'clock EST. What time is, let's ask, what time is 10 o'clock CST? 11 o'clock. Yeah, 10 o'clock. So that's my 11 o'clock my time. Kendi K, if I'm up, I will see you at 11 o'clock my time. Okay? All right. Thanks everyone that stuck around. Thank you for the laughs. Tammy, you are welcome here, just like everybody else. I'm pretty sure you didn't stay long enough to listen to what I was saying, but you gotta go, you gotta go. All right. I'm gonna end with what this channel is really about. This channel is really about encouragement, inspiration, motivation, positive affirmation. This is about helping us look at ourselves in the mirror. This is about looking at ourselves 360 mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. I do not do religion. That is my preference. Every time I say that, people unsubscribe. I do not do religion. I do spirituality and I do relationship with God, whatever that means for you. I know what it means for me. I believe in God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. Nothing can sway me from that. We have people over here from all type of religious backgrounds. Everybody is welcomed here until you're not. And if you're not, that's 100% up to you. We have the channel Journey Mirror, and we have the book Journey Mirror. We are also remaining in the proper position and posture to achieve peace, positivity, and power. I would encourage you to check out some content on this channel. This is a one-off. I mean, what? I might have a one-off once a year. This is it. This is the one-off. For the people that are going to say, look, 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 they were just on the panel last night to amening each other, and now they on here tonight arguing. Say what you say, do what you do. I'm not bothered, and I'm going to speak for Vaughn and say she not bothered either. Okay? Um, Neither one of us are gonna shut our mouths based on people, right? You unhappy with my life tonight? Pray for me. All right. Call out my name. You can say Tia, Blue, Michelle. Call out my name. Pray for me. Okay? Unless you're a worker of iniquity, don't pray for me. But to you believers, pray for me. Okay? And I appreciate it. So that's it. We're out of here. I will be back on this channel on Monday. Unless I come back for the Blue G for Rise and Shine crew. Other than that, I'll be back on Monday with some more positive content. All right? And that's it, y'all. I think that is it. I just got to read y'all this because I couldn't find it earlier. I want to say everything I put on my community wall is for me too. It's not just for the reader, it's for the person that posted it, which is me. I'm going to end with this. 4 days ago, 4 days ago, 4 days ago, listen, 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 listen. 4 days ago, I put something on my wall. It might have been more than 4 days ago because I might be reading a reshare. But I had witnessed, this might have been more than 4 days ago. Yeah. I had witnessed something right here on YouTube. It's okay to be bold and tell the truth, even if it hurts. And even if people get mad and walk away, it's okay to tell the truth because the truth is supposed to set us free, right? This is a good share, but I don't think it was shared too much. The reason I don't think this thing that I'm going to end the live with was shared too much is because it's too honest, right? Let's start normalizing being honest, right? So I don't think this got too many shares because it might have hit people the wrong way. There's a warning when you come to this channel, and the warning is trigger warning. This channel may cause you to look at yourself. That's why it's called Journey Mirror, right? While you're looking at yourself on your journey. This is what I put on the wall. Can we normalize conviction again? It was conviction tonight that helped me keep my mouth shut because I had a lot I wanted to say. Can we normalize encouraging each other through prayer? Can we normalize upholding each other when a sister or brother is having a moment where they can't hold themselves up? Can we normalize, if we have learned accountability, maybe offering to be others' accountability partner or prayer partner? Can we normalize pulling each other out of the enemy's hands? Can we normalize praying for the mess our sisters or brothers find themselves in instead of participating in the mess? Can we normalize praying for the mess our sister or brother is in instead of participating in it? See, I wasn't participating in anybody's mess tonight. I just wanted to know what my content did for them. But I also know why I'm chuckling at me reading this. Can we normalize um can we normalize encouraging our brother or sister not to do something instead of encouraging them to keep doing it and even joining them in doing it by adding our equally negative opinion or insinuating because we don't rock with who they don't talk who they because we don't rock with who they're talking about. Never dropped a negative opinion about Vaughn tonight in anybody's chat. Never did any instigating. If we call people our brothers and sisters, doesn't that come with action and being in the proper position to help them? What does the Bible study say about that? People aren't staying away from church buildings. They are staying away from us, the people in the building. Because believers, the church is the believers, not the building. Because they know enough to know there should be a difference, a dying to ourselves daily, which is what I've been saying tonight. I'm going to keep sharing this because Blue needs to normalize some things. Yeah. I need to normalize some stuff. I need to get some stuff together. And every affirmation I write, and every community wall post I write, and everything for Rise and Shine Crew that I write on the sofa picture, and everything I write in the mirrors on my community wall, it comes from me first. And every piece of content that I do, it comes from me first. I have to watch my own videos because I'll be ready to move furniture up in here. In my life. But can we normalize these things? Because it's a darn shame when you are intentionally listening for a good purpose, but others listen for bull crap so they can join you in talking about the person you're talking about, so they can cheer you on. Yeah, and you right, she is this, and yeah, she is this, and yeah, she is that. I heard her when she said this and that. I heard her when she said this and that. It's okay to be somewhere as long as you're coming back over here and agreeing with me, or just don't be there at all. It's stupid. So in closing, go where you want to go. Support who you want to support. You're going to do stuff that's going to be misconstrued. You're going to do stuff that's not going to make sense to everybody. You're going to do stuff because people might not understand that you're working on a channel. You're working on branding something. You want feedback. So you go to get the feedback and you're not really concerned about nothing else because it ain't about you. It's about me and getting feedback for what I'm doing and for what I'm growing and for what I'm branding. And that's it, that's all. And at the end of the day, your relationship with me should speak for itself, not what the heck somebody else is doing. Say it again, Blue, for the people in the treetops across the yard that have climbed the ladder and they still watching. Your relationship with me should be what you hold on to, not somebody else's opinion. Because that's what I've done. And I can't make you do the same, and I can't expect the same. And stop expecting what you would do. Stop expecting it from other people. You will be hurt every time because we're human beings. We're not even supposed to think alike like that. Right? Like you got like-minded people, but we're different. I wouldn't even been there today if my content didn't have something to do with it. Vaughn, everything's not about you in life. It's just not. It's just not. And my relationship with you and what we've been through, that should be, if it's as solid as it is, that should be. It shouldn't even be no freaking question. Y'all keep loving unapologetically. Keep being kind intentionally. And keep being you. Keep being you authentically. Keep being you. I don't give a flying fig Newton who don't like it. Keep being y'all. Keep whoever you are. Keep being you authentically. Don't worry about nobody not understanding it. Don't worry about having to duck and dot. Don't worry about walking on glass for anybody. Be you authentically because that's who I'm finally being. After 40 something years, I'm finally being me. And if it makes people leave, then leave and continue to love yourself and continue to be kind to yourself and continue to be you who you truly are. And continue to look at yourself in the mirror and see yourself as God see you. And continue to say your affirmations until you believe them. And I will see you all on Monday morning.
With pen in hand, I trace the day, the highs, the sighs.
journey, your choice. You're never alone. Love will carry you, just hold on and be strong. On Journey Mirror, you will reunite with who you truly are. The light within will never guide you wrong. Manifest your journey by believing in yourself. Are you ready? Well, then get ready to be in the proper position and posture to achieve peace, prosperity, and power. Enjoy your journey of loving unapologetically, being kind intentionally, and being you authentically. Happy journey, be well. Your mirror, your journey, your choice. You're never alone. Love will carry you, just hold on and be strong. On Journey Mirror, you will reunite with who you truly are. The light within will never guide you wrong. Happy journey, be well. Your mirror, your journey, your choice. You're never alone. Love will carry you, just hold on and be strong.